know. Look at these scars.
Hey everyone, Jon The Everyday Collector here, and welcome back to the channel. I was going out for a coffee tonight, and I said, hey, why not film a carpool collecting? We got some updates from Queen Studios and InArt relating to their 1/6 scale Joker figures, the rooted and the sculpted version. Apparently they've been getting some inquiries from collectors in regards to long-term maintenance, so they put out a video to give us an inside look as to how they recommend taking care of the figures. So let's have a closer look. All right, guys, welcome back. Coffee has been secured. A good old cup of Timmy Hortons. You love to see it. Now let's talk about this video, okay? First off, I want to say thanks to Queen Studios and InArt for listening to the inquiries, recording this video, and putting it out to the community. I think it's great. I think that the open communication is really good, and I'm glad to see that they went ahead and did that. Now, pertaining to the video and the figures, let's start with the sculpted version, okay? I'm not very happy that you actually have to take a blow dryer to the sculpted hair and kind of finesse it to get that look. It raises some questions in my eyes. Questions like, okay, well, if I'm going to use the blow dryer, number one, will it impact the paint app at all over time. Because if you're bending the hair, right, you can see them with the tweezers bending the hair. Is that going to impact the figure over time? Number one. Number two is, how often do I have to do this? Is this like a one-time thing and then the hair will stay in that position? Or is this every few months I'm going to have to blow dry the figure? I don't know. I can't speak from experience, because that's definitely something that I wouldn't like doing, having to blow dry the figure. I know some collectors have some experience with, using the blow dryer to get pegs out and whatnot, but that's not my experience. I like to open up a figure in a box, display it, and then that's it. So I'm not too happy about that. I personally ordered the rooted hair version. Now I know some collectors who are YouTubers as well. Shout out to Jon, he got his in, and we see in the video that they use what looks to be like a makeup brush or a paint brush that looks to be wet, and they use that and just essentially like what looks like wet the hair a little bit and put it into position. I didn't see anybody comb the hair, so I can already hear the community saying, oh, you got to comb your dolls, you got to comb your dolls. I didn't see anybody using a comb, a paintbrush, a little wet paintbrush to put the hairs in place and wet it a little bit. I watched Jon's review and spoke to him as well. He had said that it looks like the hair comes, some sort of material they use comes wet and styled already. So I don't know what the time frame and how much later you're gonna have to do this application. Either way, I wouldn't want to do it. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to take out my figure out of the box, set it up, get it fixed up a bit, and then I'll set it and forget it. I don't have to, go back and update it and flip and wet it and all that. I'm not really into that, to be honest. What else did they show? They also showed the cuffs on the jail Joker with the tweezers, how it hooks. It's like little hooks that you actually have to undo and put together, which was pretty cool. Not like those cheap buttons, I don't know what they're called, but the little buttons that you just press and they lock in and then you have to pull them apart. So it's nice to see the hook. The jacket has wire along the base of it, which is great when it comes to wanting to pose it. What else did they show? Oh, and the neck peg. There's a neck piece that you're gonna have to put in with certain portraits as well to elevate it, depending on the portrait you're gonna use. So that's something to keep in mind. But all magnets, which was nice. Like I said, I appreciate Queen and InArt putting this out. I want to really get the figure in hand before I start losing it as to whether I'm going to have to brush the hair and thing. I don't really think we're going to have to take a brush to it. I think it's going to be, if anything, maybe some water to hydrate it. But again, I can't speak from experience because I've never done anything like that. One of the rooted figures that I have is the Hot Toys Black Widow, and the curly hair one, the first one, and her hair is just it's a puff. It's just, but I've never experienced putting water or any hair product, and I don't really want to. So I'm hoping with this Joker that long term we're really not going to have to. But besides that, with this release, I do appreciate the attention to details. And although some people may say, well, this is like playing with your dolls, I really think watching that video and seeing them work with the figure, it just adds to the overall experience of the unboxing or the product. It's nice to take a figure, just set it up out of the box and pose it like a statue, right? It becomes a statue at that point. But having to be meticulous and straighten out the coat and fix the tie, I just think it personalizes it a bit. I know some collectors will think you shouldn't have to, but I totally agree with having to wet the hair. I don't think you should have to do that whatsoever. I don't think you should have to. But fixing the coat and the wire on the bottom and patting it down to personalize it, to dirty it up a bit, to give it your look, I think that's cool. Same with setting up the Joker with the cuffs, linking them and getting it all set up. it adds to the fun of it. You know, you get the box, put on some good music, get a good drink, and just get away from the problems and enjoy the experience. Because when we're paying what we're paying for these figures, it needs to be an experience. It's not going to be like ripping open a clamshell package and just, you know, accessories flying everywhere. You got to take the time and really experience the unboxing. For me, that's how I look at it. But yeah, I haven't heard any updates as to when I'll be getting mine. Apparently they're going to be going in February. That was the last thing that I heard, but I haven't gotten any invoice or anything. So I'm excited to see what's going to come in the box. I've seen some unboxings. Great job. It looks to me really nice out of the box. But the concern, of course, is, well, what's going to happen long term to the hair and what will have to be done. So we'll see. It's still early in the game, but again, thanks to the company for giving us an update, and thank you guys for watching. Until next time, collect responsibly, and always remember to drive safe. Take care.
What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No. You complete me.